lot of scenery out there, a lot of pleasure boaters. You get caught up on all the latest music. All these boats got great stereo systems in them.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, August 26th. Hey, we're going to have the guys filling in here with a little bit of information to help us put a few more fish in the boat. We're going to have Lee, Tom, and Gentry doing their usual lakes, and then we're going to have a fill-in with Tracy Robinson, our Bucks Island pro staffer, who's going to help us on Logan Martin and Lay Lake this week. We'll be right back with what the guys have to say. Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, August 26th. Hey, we're joined by Tom Mott, who's going to talk a little bit of Guntersville fishing. I know it's hot, but I'm still seeing some good fish coming out of there. Tom, what's going on with the bite? What are they doing?
I think biting someone else's line right now, Dano. It's hot out there. We've been going and really putting in some work. I'm trying to, as a weekend guy, I like to go out and really try something different each week. And, I think I chose unwisely this past week, but I really looked to capitalize on some of that flip and bite. I was looking for some of those frog fish, that kind of thing. I'm telling you, I'm sure there's some areas that, that cheese is really starting to show itself out there. And I'm talking probably mainly the Miracle Mile areas where I was at, but just seeing a lot of that stuff coming along. It's not quite there yet. I think you can catch some fish. I didn't see a lot of blowholes. The flip and bite was it really just hasn't taken off yet, or at least it hadn't taken off as far as timing goes. So what I'm saying is I think my timing was bad. But at any rate, those fish, there's a lot of bait there, a lot of bait under those mats, and I know it's happening. I did have to move out on the ledge just so I could get my string pulled a little bit, and that's still happening. But I'm trying to push the fall bite a little bit too fast, but it's coming for sure. Saw a little bit more schooling activity. The bass are really following a lot of that bait around in your open areas. Just keep your eyes out open for that kind of stuff. And just about any top water, any kind of small crankbait, you're going to be able to either catch some stripes, some white bass, or even some largemouth. I mean, they're starting to move up and starting to come up on the top as well.
Are you starting to see the crappie moving yet, or is it still too hot? I'm sure the brim are still up there, and you probably can catch a catfish too. But are you starting to see the crappie bite move at all?
Yes, on the catfish. The crappie, yeah, in a way, yes, they are starting to move back towards those causeways. What I've been hearing is the best bite is definitely at night. Don't even bother to go before 10 o'clock. But if you get out there late and then leave early, that's when the fish are really starting to move around. I'm starting to hear that back up under the bridges again, around those, that's where the bait's already started to congregate. So that's where your crappie are definitely going to be. And that's only going to get better as we get maybe as we get a little bit cooler and some shorter days.
Tom, as always, brother, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you again next week, man.
Tight lines. Be safe out there.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, August 26th. Hey, we're joined by Gentry Gordy by phone. Hey, Gentry, what's going on out there at Lake Martin?
Not a whole lot, Dano. I think it's on the upcline. As hot as it is, and it's the dog days of summer, I think just the internal clock of each fish is, your bait fish are starting to move towards your pockets. I mean, and there's fish with them that the big ones hadn't made their way yet, but it's still fun. Anytime you can catch them come up schooling in the mouths of some of these bigger pockets, in the morning times and late in the evenings, it's always fun. I think the big fish are there. They're staying up under them. They're not making the charge up to the surface. It's tough, but it seems like it's on the upswing. But a lot of people know it, a lot of people don't. Lake Martin, you almost can't throw a top water plug that's too big as you're coming into these late summer, early fall. Almost saltwater style. Big spooks and stuff like that. The most noise you can make, you can bring them up out of 40 and 50 foot of water.
Sounds like I might need to bring my old Lunker Punker wooden topwater baits out there from California and give those a try. Is it something that you can kind of bring that after the topwater bite maybe goes away that you could swim a grub or a swim bait or something like that through there and put a few fish in the boat?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, it's early morning, late evenings when they really get a little more active, but they stay with that group, with a group of bait fish. But yeah, absolutely. Just like a little Keotech swim bait, little big, your little rib 3 or 4 inch swim bait, and I'll put it on a half-ounce head just because I'm impatient. But yeah, you can absolutely throw it out there and get it below that school, and they're still there. That's more of your midday thing. And, if they pull up, if they get closer to the bank, you can drag a ball and chain down there and catch them.
Gotcha. All right, let's talk about Lake Jordan for the last minute. What's going on at Jordan?
A lot of the same. The bait fish are starting to get active up there. So, especially in the afternoons, if they cut on the generators up the river, it just gets a little more active. Your crankbait bite is still, it's improving. It's, from what it was last week. That bite's going to get better. But it's, like I said, big crankbaits up underneath them balls, them spotted bass up there, them Coos River spots, they'll get a little more active than your Lake Martin spot, and I think it's because a lot of the watercolor, it's just not quite as clear as Martin. But up the river, you really got to find the bait to find a group of fish.
Well, Gentry, as always, brother, I appreciate everything. We'll talk to you again next week, man.
All right, guys.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, August 26th. Hey, we're rejoined by Lee Pitts, who found his time to be able to come back in and join us and give us some expertise there on Weiss Lake and Neely Henry. Hey, let's start at Neely Henry this week. Lee, what's happening there?
Well, I don't know if you want me back or not, but man, Neely is really good. A lot of scenery out there, a lot of pleasure boaters. You get caught up on all the latest music. All these boats got great stereo systems in them. And really, it's just been real nice out there. The river's tightened down where you really get to see all the pleasure boaters and get to meet a lot of people.
That's why we go out there and put those bass boats on the water, those glitter rockets. We want to go out there and listen to music, I know. So how do you put a fish in the boat?
It's been, I think the heat has been an issue for the fishermen more than the fish. The fish are still in those shady spots. They're still trying to find a little bit of cover. The dock bite has still been pretty good, even in the heat of the day. You can tell a difference just if you're out in the water playing around, just trying to cool off. You can tell when you get in those shady spots and when you get in the little covered places. So that's what the fish are looking for. The bass, there's still some good fish to be caught. I've had to downsize quite a bit. I'm really slowing down. I'm trying to really pick things apart. The fish are not real aggressive right now, so you just got to put it on his nose and just get in there where he lives and make him get mad enough to get it.
All right. Speaking of making fish mad, I know the fish up at Weiss Lake have been a little more angry than the ones at Neely Henry. Those seems to be biting a little bit better. What's going on at Weiss?
I don't know what's happening, but it has been. Weiss the last 3 weeks really has been putting out some good stringers of fish, and it's the shallow guys. These guys that are out there deeper, they're getting your 9, 10, 12 pounds, maybe get a good fish here and there. But those guys that are staying 3, 4, 5 feet and staying in that wood cover, even still in the grass, if we've got some grass that's in some deeper water, and when I'm saying deeper, 2 or 3 feet, and the thicker grass, that's what these fish are looking for. They want to get in that thick stuff where they can kind of not exert a whole lot of energy. They can lay there in that shade and just kind of riding the storm out. They're just sitting there just chilling, waiting for better times. But Weiss is being very productive right now.
Crappie bite, we got like 15 seconds. Is the crappie bite worth doing?
It's, you can still go out there and catch a few, but as far that water temperature is going to cool down some. You can catch them. It's not like what Weiss is known for, though. That's going to be our October deal. Late September, October, it'll kick in. But it's coming.
Lee, as always, brother, we appreciate it. Thanks for the time. We'll talk to you again next week.
All right, y'all. See you next week.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, August 26th. Hey, we are joined by Tracy Robinson, our Bucks Island pro staffer and friend. Tracy, what's happening at Logan Martin and Lay Lake these days?
Well, Logan Martin, just like all the other lakes, it's super hot right now. Water temperatures mid to upper 90s in most places, so it's definitely summertime fishing. Logan Martin, right now, main deal is just getting some shade. Brush piles are probably for the better quality. The 8 to 15-foot brush piles are probably the best deals with your plastics, Ned rigs, whatever you choose on the plastic sides. Docks are always pretty popular in the summertime. A lot of my buddies, that's all they fish. They're catching them pretty good on the docks, the plastics as well. And that's mid to lower lake that I'm referring to. Upper end, there are some fish being caught on the laydown on the upper end, jigs predominantly, and some plastics. But whenever they do generate current, which there hasn't, but the bite really picks up up the lake whenever that currents are generating. You can transition from those tips of those trees more to the points and eddy type stuff, but it's been few and far between the past 2 weeks on when they generated much current to make that happen.
Sounds like you might need to finesse a little bit down there to be able to get a quality bite or two. But okay, let's turn our attention to Lay Lake. What are you finding there?
Lay, a little bit different layout of the lake because of the grass on the lake. There's actually some really big bags, 20 plus pounds, that's still taking to win most any of these full day tournaments down there, even right now with the excessive temperatures. Most of the big bags are coming in the grass, either the water willows. They're still swimming jigs in the water willows, catching them, and a lot of good quality fish being caught on the frogs in the water willows. Lay, if you know, for you guys that fish it a good bit, there's a lot of good matted vegetation there, and some really quality fish being coming out of that matted vegetation, punching an ounce and a quarter weight. Not real picky on which plastics you put behind that ounce and a quarter, but there's a lot of options on there from, all the different baits, to punch with. I like Archelon. I like a couple of net baits that I use, but the mats have been producing some pretty quality fish as well.
That covers kind of the main river and some of that kind of stuff. Are you seeing any other activity out there? Catfish fishermen? Are you seeing any striper fishermen? Are you seeing any of that stuff out there?
I've seen some guys anchored down out there catfishing. Hadn't talked to a lot of them. They're all, main body of water, out in the middle, deeper water. I can't really speculate on what they're catching. I have seen some crappie pictures coming out of both lakes, both Logan and Lay. Not a lot of giant bags, but I've been seeing some 15, 20 fish pictures over the past week or two from the crappie guys.
Tracy, as always, brother, we appreciate you filling in. We will talk to you again next week. Thanks for all you do for Bucks Island.
Thank you, Dano.
Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island area fishing report for Saturday, August 26th. Thanks for spending the time with us here at Bucks Island. Don't forget, if you're looking for that special boat, whether it's a pontoon boat to take advantage of the last bits of fall into the wintertime boating season, whether you want to go fishing in a new bass boat or aluminum boat, we got it. Don't forget to stop on by and see Pat and the guys in parts. The sales team will help you with you're looking for a new boat. We got the service department with Misty and everybody down there. And then, of course, we got tackle up in the loft with Colin and Jamie. Don't forget to stop on by and see us. We love to see you guys. You're the best part of Bucks Island, and you're appreciated more than you know.